Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
They have clients already that are using some of their resource. For example, this is 100 GB. This clients are using, for example, 50 GB. They have 50 GB lying there. 50 GB is there and 50 GB is there lying vacant, and nobody is using it. So with on demand, I am using this remaining chunk of 50 GB and they are charging me accordingly. It is expensive because I can just discard it anytime. It will be moved back to the AWS again. The second one is the reserved one, this category where I'm asking AWS to reserve this for me. For reserving, they know that this customer will be there for 1 year. He has paid me this. I have to keep his resources aside, so they will be charging me less. The third one is the spot one, where you can do the bidding as well. You can do the bid. For example, AWS is having this 50 GB remaining there. There is no client. They have a huge infrastructure. They want to make use of it, so you can do the bidding as well. For example, you can set a limit that if EC2, if a particular EC2 instance falls below, you can say $1 per day. This is the minimum limit I'll set. If it falls below $1, and maximum, once it is assigned, maximum it can be $5. So what will happen? In spot, you can just think it of as a spot market. You can place your bid for the EC2 instance, that if the price moves to $1 per day, please give me an EC2 instance, and it will be there for me. If the price reaches back to $4 per day, it will be with me. If it goes beyond that, automatically I don't need it, you take it back. So this spot instances basically are generally for the less critical applications, not for most critical application. Okay, these are for less critical application, less work, because see, your instance is going back to AWS whenever the price increase. So that's what these three type of instances are there. Okay, on demand, reserved and spot. So accordingly you can plan your things. Moving back to the next, what is there? Okay, before that, let's launch an instance. 1 second. EBS after that. Okay, we'll be launching instance shortly. Let me just explain you EBS as well. See, EC2 is your computer. Just think it in simple terms, the laptop or computer, whatever you having in cloud, it is that. Now EBS is known as the elastic block store. It is the hard drives or hard disk. Obviously running a computer needs a hard disk. This EBS is the hard disk or the hard drive, you can say hard drive, additional hard drive, whatever it is, in simple language. In AWS definition, they have written a long term, but in simple term, it's the storage volume that is installed into the EC2. Moving to the next, see, in a root versus additional EBS volume, so there will be a root volume as well. So every instance, whatever you are using, it will be using a root volume. It will be installed. See, operating system will be installed on something, so there is a root volume. It can be an EBS or may not be an EBS. So by default, Splunk is by default AWS is using the EBS only, elastic block store, for making for installing the operating system, and you are using it on top of it. You can add additional volumes whenever you want, and you can remove it as well whenever you want. We can deploy additional volume as well. So these are EBS volume, and in this EBS volume as well, we have different types. See, again, costing, everything depends on cost based on your requirement. What you want, you can select the required configuration of the EBS of the EC2, and you can launch accordingly. For example, you see SSDs and HDD. So SSDs are basically the latest drives, so it don't use any physical thing to read or write. HDDs are the older one. They have the physical components that will be read and write. So the SSDs are fast, but they are expensive. HDDs are cheap, but they are slow as well. So we have multiple options. Again, in SSD we have general purpose SSD. Okay, you can see the volume sizes. We have 1 GB to 16 TB, maximum IO apps. This is mean, so if you want the IO apps according to your requirement, it is basically used for general purpose SSD volume that balances price and performance. You want private IO apps SSD, you want highest performance of SSD, you can use this one. 64,000 IO apps there. Again, if you move to HDD, the costing will be less accordingly. So everything depends on the cost, guys.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Just showing you one more thing. I think this is before launching the EC2 instance. I was just finding that EC2 instance cost calculator. Let me just show you EC2 AWS EC2 instance cost calculator. Oh, there it is. Sorry, it is taking something else. Yes, for example, I just wanted to just check randomly what will be the cost of launching an on-demand instance. See, again, one more thing, the costing also varies based on the region. For running a data center in a specific region, a certain cost is required. In some countries it is more, in some countries it is less. Okay, so for example, I'm selecting Central Canada, so you'll see the cost is updated. If I want a T4 Nano, this is the cost. This is the CPUs and the memory that will be there, 0.0046. Okay, and if I select the Windows, where it is, Windows here, this is the cost. Accordingly, you can based on your requirement, see if I'm selecting the general purpose, we are using the T2 micro, T2, I think T2 macro, T3, yeah, T2 macro, I think we were using this one. So this is the cost for running it. Okay, so that's how this we can define the cost. And one more thing, so this is just about the EC2 instance. AWS will also be charging you for the data transfer as well. Okay, data transfer into Amazon instance from the internet, it is 0, but if you are transferring something out to the Amazon instance, there will be a little bit of charge monthly. Okay, so that's how this thing is. Yeah, again, EBS, if you want to see the EBS costing as well, again, these are EBS that I just showed you in the previous example. Every component will be having a separate cost. So based on your requirement, your architect needs to see what is best fitting their use case, what is your requirement, accordingly he has to use that one. Okay, yeah, what else? Let me, okay, let's move to the launching the EC2 instance. Let's see this thing in action. Launch an instance. Let me go back to EC2 from scratch. Let's launch it from scratch. So guys, I'm launching an EC2 instance. I'm just showing it to you. What all things are there and what all things needs to be taken care. So here you can click on launch instance. See, I want to launch, for example, whatever instance you want to launch, you can select it from here. For example, I'm launching Ubuntu Server 18.0. I'll be selecting this one. Based on your requirement, if you want to select any other family of instance, you have a larger requirement, you can select this T2 large, or according to your requirement you can select them. Okay, this is one is free tier. Click on next, configure instance. These are the details. For example, in one go, if you want to launch 3 same instance, you can select 3. I want one only. If you wanted to request a spot instance, this is where the setting is. You have to set a maximum price or persistent request, whatever you want. Generally, rarely we select spot instance. It depends on your requirement. If you want a spot instance, you can select it from here. This network subnet, we'll be talking about it. Important thing, public IP assignation. If you want to give this a public IP automatically on launch, you should keep this one. Otherwise, if you want to disable it, you can disable it as well. An important thing, again, if you want to give him an IAM role, specific IAM role, you have to create, you want to access the S3 storage service, you have to give this instance an IAM role from here. Shutdown behavior, what will be the shutdown behavior? You want to terminate it or stop it, all these things are there. We'll be talking about it, not to worry. Now these are some advanced setting. Guys, if you want to automate some stuff, you have a script. For example, I hope you have heard about applications like Splunk or Splunk or QRadar, whatever it is. A number of applications are there. If you want this thing to be automated, you don't want to, once this instance is launched and then you will be logging in and then you will be launching the application. If you don't want that stuff, you can write a bash script and you can paste it here. Okay, that application will while the instance will be created by AWS, it will be launched, and whatever you are putting in here, that things will get executed. For example, I put a bash script to install an application, so that will be done by F. So for example, I have a bash script already. This is a bootstrap script. It's a bash script. I'm just doing a yum update -i, then installing httpd server -y. Then I'll be just creating a small index.html page. So if I paste this as well, let's see, it will get started. It will be executing this stuff and it will be creating a page there, installing the httpd service. Okay, moving on to the next. This is where your storage is. This is the root volume. It is 8 GB of size. If you want to keep it whatever GB, 100 of GB or TB, you can set it. Currently, based on my account, I have a limit. Okay, basically 1023 GB is there. So let me just select 10 GB or 20 GB, whatever you want. The size of EBS, the type of EBS I was showing it to you, you can select it from here. What type you want. Magnetic starter provision IO SSD, this SSD, whatever you want, you can select it. You want to enable encryption on the go, you can select encryption as well. The KMS keys. Okay. Want additional volume, you can select additional volumes from here. You can add an additional volume. You want cold HDD as an additional volume, you can select it from here as well. I'll not be adding an additional volume. I think it will get added, not an issue. Delete on termination. If I am deleting the instance, automatically delete this volume as well. Okay, so this option is doing that. So let me just move to the next step. Let me just remove this thing. Next thing is add tags for your for example, you can tag these as these are servers for my development team, so you can give a tag to these things so that you can search them easily. Okay, then configure security group. So this is you can say like a firewall. We'll be talking in detail about the security group. I'm just telling you, this is like a firewall on the instance. I want to allow only 22 port from across the world. If you have an IP address also, for example, this instance will be launched, it will get accessed by a particular IP range or a particular IP from a particular user. You can give that IP here. Okay, so again, you want to go granular, you want to allow all TCP ports, you can allow the access here. You can put the IP address here. Okay, if a 00.00 means it's allowed from all across the world. You can go granular, you want to allow custom TCP. For example, I want to allow only the port number 4. I can add more rules. I can allow only the UDP port or all UDP ports. So that's how what you are doing. You are setting the firewall on the instance. Okay, only these ports are allowed. Apart from this, nothing is allowed. Okay, that's what it is. So currently, I think I'll be deploying a web application on top of this HTTPD, the Apache server I'm going to install, and I'll be creating a index.html page through my I pasted it into the configure instance part. Okay, I put a script there. So let me enable all TCP, but in production you should be specific what all ports should be open. For example, in this case, the SSH port and only the AT port is required because it's a web server and I want to access it through the SSH, and also other people can access it through the URL or the browser, either AT or 443. But it's my test environment. I'm just selecting all TCP. Review. What else? Sorry, I have to put a CDIR range. It will be accessible from everywhere. and then it is just asking you validate the things that you are that you are creating, and then launch the instance. Now see, it is asking me to select a key pair. So what is a key pair? Basically, if I talk in simple language, AWS EC2 instance is using the you can say asymmetric, what is called asymmetric key, I think so. Asymmetric key, symmetric key. Just to confuse, man, seriously. uh there are two keys, so I think it is asymmetric only. Let me just, okay, it is asymmetric key. So basically what is happening, EC2 instance will be using an asymmetric key. AWS will be launching this instance. Okay, it will be putting.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
A public, it will be placing a public key there into the cloud, and it will be giving you the private key. So if you want to access the incidents through SSH, you will be having this key that they are giving. So I already have it. So if you want to create a new key pair, you can select from here. You can create a new key pair and you can just select ABC or whatever it is, XYZ. Okay, and one more thing, you have to download that key pair as well before accessing it. So you will be downloading it. Except on this one, downloading, and you have to use this one. If you want to SSH this machine, you have to provide this private key. So I think I already have a key pair. So if you don't want any key pair, if you don't want to access this through SSH or the RDP, if it's a Windows, if you don't want to the machine through these SSH or RDP, you can just select without a key pair. Then there will be no key pair. You will not be able to access that machine. So I'll be selecting an existing key pair. I already have it. Anything else I have? Okay, ABCRs. Then launch the instance. So this instance will be launching shortly. That's how you launch the instance. So if I go here again into the EC2, if you want to see that instance, so you can click on this one. So this is the previous one that was running. The new one will be coming. It's running only. It's configuring state. See, it is pending. It is a T2 macro. You can see full details here. It is launched in US East 1B. And one more thing, guys. I am into North. These are the region. I've launched the EC2 into the US East 1 region. The EC2 service is region specific. If I move to, you can say US West 2. Let's see this. So let me move to a different region now. Let me just show you one thing. It is taking time. See, I am into a different region. I am in US West Oregon region. There are no instances there. So the agenda I want you to explain is this EC2 service is region specific. So be sure there. So see, it is now, it is in running state. It is just checking the initial, performing a status check initialization, and there is the public key. Sorry, this is the public IP. Okay, if you want to access it, you can just do a putty. Sorry, this is putty chain. Putty, or just paste this IP here. Do an SSH auth, and here is my key ABC. See what I'm doing. Might be I move too fast. So you have to place your IP address here. You have to click on SSH. You have to click on auth, and here you have to give that private key that you had. Click on this one, open, and then open it. Alright, you accept it, and this, see, this is accessible now. Okay. There is just one more thing. The user info. If you want to get the username, what is the username of this machine? You just click on this. I think this is the one. Connect. This is selected. Select that instance. Click on connect. So it will be giving you more information. The username is Ubuntu. You can log in with the Ubuntu username. Okay. So here it is. Ubuntu. Oh, it's refused. My key might be. I'm not using the proper key. So basically, that's how you access it. Okay, the key that I was using was old, that's why it rejected it. So this is the thing. That's how you launch an instance, and I put a script there as well. Let me check it whether it got executed or not. If I paste this, it might take 5 minutes at least to launch a script. Actually, it will be showing you a web page. So currently in initialization, we'll come back to it. It will take some time. It is in initialization stage only. Meanwhile, any doubts in launching the EC2 instance, guys? Are we clear? Hello, guys. Okay, Rahul. Anybody else any doubt in launching the instance? I hope I've explained everything in easy language and things. Okay, thanks. Might everything. Everybody is in sync now. What is next? Next is EFS service. Guys, if you are not speaking, I think there are no doubts. Huh? Okay. Next thing is the elastic.
Yeah. See, one thing is I am not completely convinced about IAM. Okay. IAM, I
I'm
was
not.
looking.
I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is what the curriculum was being made, like inform about IAM. Is the only that information or how it is?
It's the basic information about the IAM creating a user, and that's all. But if you have more requirement, not an issue. I'll be covering after the break or in the end. Not an issue. Yeah, we'll
No,
cover
no.
that.
If you are going to deep drive, I just wanted to know because this how much topic has to be covered in IIM.
That is
So yeah,
see, Pradeep, we have n number of topics to cover today. If we deep dive into a particular topic, then other things will be remaining.
yeah, that's what.
That's
I
why.
don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to do the trouble for other folks as well.
Uh,
So the reason I'm
yeah.
asking, like, what was the initial agenda was set up and
Initial agenda is to give you an overview of IAM, what all things are there, how the IAM is working, and create a user, show a user what is the usage of policy roles. That's all. That's what it is.
okay, okay,
If still
okay,
if you are not satisfied, just ping me your exact requirement either at the end of the session if it is possible, or tomorrow you will get your answers. Not an issue.
sure, sure, sure,
Okay.
sure. Yeah, thanks,
And the
thanks.
reason being, there are a number of services we have to cover. If we stick to one, and others will be lost. Okay.
Okay, see
Yeah.
why? Because I'm asking. No, see when you get into the course, you only cover AWS. That's it, right? So other
Right,
topics
right,
will be
right.
covered from other trainer.
Yeah, right, absolutely right. So there will be different trainer. I think there are multiple things they are teaching you. For
Okay,
other
okay,
topics, there will be other trainer who is expert in that service.
okay, okay, okay. Thanks. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. Moving to the next part. Next service is EFS. So till now we have seen the regions, the AZs, the EC2, the EBS, and now we are into the EFS. There are multiple things written about EFS everywhere. In simple language, if I say what is an EFS, EFS is like a file sharing system. I want to, it's like a shared drive. In your organization, you will be seeing you have to attach a shared drive to your laptop in the organization, or your desktop. You will be attaching some shared drive. So same concept is here in terms of this thing. So let me just click on new. So what I have, sorry, I have multiple Linux sorry, EC2 instances, Linux instance or Windows instance, whatever it is. So there are multiple EC2 instances. Okay, or you can say now I want to store my critical files at a central location, and I want it to be shared with all these EC2 instances, all these four. So what I can do, I can launch an EFS service. So what EFS will be doing, EFS will be creating a storage for me, EFS, and I can store the data in this EFS drive.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
And this EFS you can attach through commands to the EC2 instances. So it will be a centralized storage, then it will be attached to these EC2 instances and you can access it. Again, this is charged also, everything is charged according to, and one more thing, there is no limit to the EFS. You can store TBs of data. But whatever, for example, if I'm storing 1 GB of file, I'll be charged only 1 GB. Yes, length run. It is EFS like a shared folder. It is like a shared folder only. So how to see this or create this service? You click on this EFS. Here is the EFS service. Create a file system. Create an EFS file service. So you can name it anything. For example, shared critical folder. We haven't talked about VPC. We will be talking about VPC as well. Availability and durability. If you want to store data to multiple AZs in a region, there will be 3 AZs, generally 3, 4, 5. It can be more. If you want to store it in a particular AZ only, availability zone. For example, see, I am into US East 1. There are there are the 6 availability zones. I want to store it only this into this one. Again, costing will be less, but if I select regional, this US East 1, it will be stored in all these availability zone for high availability. Let me just select one zone only so that I don't get charged. You select create. Here is the charge. You can see also your EFS has been created now. Okay, so if you click on this one, it is a success. View details. So this EFS has been created, and if you want to attach it, you can see this option attach here. This is the command that you have to run on your EC2 instance if you want to attach it. This shared drive will be attached there, and you can store and restore your things accordingly. Okay, that's what an EC2 is. It's a shared drive basically. So let me just delete this service actually, otherwise it will get charged. Confirm the deletion by entering the FSID. So accordingly, you can create multiple file system. And one thing you have to keep in mind if you are going to give the exam also, what is happening in EFS is there is unlimited storage. But if I'm consuming only 1 GB, if I'm storing a file or a folder that is only 1 GB, so easy, this AWS will be charging only me only for that 1 GB, not more than that. Okay, so that's how this service is. Issue phase, just one important clarification. Actually, people get confused in this EBS and EFS. EBS, you can think it of as a hard disk that you attach on your laptop or desktop. Just simplifying things. EFS is a shared drive. It is situated. It is there into the cloud. You can attach it into your EC2 instances. That's what the basic difference is amongst both of them. So don't get confused. Okay, moving on to the next service. So this is called as the simple storage service. It is S3. An online bulk storage service that you can access from almost any device from across the world. If I have an S3 storage in my AWS cloud, I can access it through my laptop as well, through my mobile as well, through that URL. They will be providing me a URL. I can store files there onto this S3 storage. Okay, so S3 is a storage service into the cloud. And one more thing, people get confused here also, when to use an EC2 and when to use an S3. If you need compute power from the cloud, you want to do computing, you in simple term, if you want a laptop or a desktop into the cloud, you will be going with EC2. But if you want a cost effective solution where there is no limit to the storage, and you will be charged only what you use in the storage, then you go with S3. You just have to store something and you want it accessible all across the world, or you can restrict it as well. But if you want it accessible from mobile, from desktop, laptop, or you want to restrict it, you just want to store it, you want to keep it private to your organization, you can use the S3 storage. Okay, so that's what an S3 is. Okay, we understood S3 is there. What is inside the S3? So inside S3 there are buckets. Okay, you can create buckets, and buckets are like, you can think of as folders. You can create folders and you can store your files, folders, whatever you have, you can store it there, and accordingly you will be charged. And one more thing, similarly how EC2 was a region based service, this this S3 is also a region based service. Okay, if you are creating a bucket in the US East 1 or US zone, US region, it will be there in the US region only. If you are creating this S3 into the Japan region, it will be there in the Japan region. So it is not global, it is specific to a region. Okay, similarly, for example, if you're serving to a customer, some files are there. If you're serving to customers near to US, you can store that. You can create a S3 bucket into the US region, and you can store your files there. Okay. Okay, S3 basics component and structure. So if you are using S3 service, what basically you will get a buckets, and inside buckets you can create separate folders and you can store your objects there, or you can directly store the objects in the buckets. So I'll be showing you that as well, not to worry. Okay, let's create a bucket for this S3 bucket. So this, you just have to type S3 and you will be receiving it here. Oh, I have this much buckets. Delete them here. Okay, so I have these buckets already there in my this one. Okay, just 1 second. No, just drinking water, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, okay. Okay, so buckets are there. I've already created buckets. They will be charging me something. No issues. Close this one. Close this one. What we are doing basically, Amazon S3, where I am.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.